The Gran Turismo series has been around for like 25 years now, and it seems like every installment that has been released since 1997 has been better than the last. And it seems like the video game series peaked back in the 2000s with the releases of Gran Turismo 3 and 4, even though quality-wise they're nothing compared to what we have today. Those games did massive numbers in terms of sales, and since Gran Turismo 3 and 4, I don't think any other Gran Turismo game has come close to those titles in terms of being a commercial success. But you look at Gran Turismo Sport from 2017. I believe that managed to reach 8 million in terms of sales, and it had at least 7.5 million players worldwide, which is more than I can say for Gran Turismo 7, which was released back in March of 2022. Now, when video game developers or companies have games that are successful and that do well on their opening weeks and all that stuff, normally they boast about their numbers and the success they have, and I haven't really seen that with Gran Turismo 7 as much. And in fact, I don't think I know the exact sales numbers for Gran Turismo 7, but to be fair, it hasn't been a full year yet. It's only been a couple of months, and it's quite possible that by the time we get to March of 2023, the game will have sold a couple of million copies worldwide, and hopefully it's a game that, I guess as time go by, it will eventually surpass Gran Turismo Sport, but it seems like that's very unlikely because a lot of people complained about various things about Gran Turismo 7, including the microtransactions that were included within the game, and a lot of people hate those when it comes to modern video games because people hate the idea of having to use real money in order to unlock, I guess, items or stuff that's already in the game because, you already paid for the game and you shouldn't have to use real money to pay for something else that's on the disc that you already purchased. Now, if it's DLC, that's another issue altogether because people don't mind paying for DLC because it's DLC, but a lot of people will go on record and say that video game companies have gotten greedy over time, and that kind of seems to be the case with Sony Interactive Entertainment. But you look at Gran Turismo 7, like the game looks very realistic. A lot of people are impressed by the amount of effort that was made by Sony and Falifoni Digital to make the game an improvement over Gran Turismo Sport from 2017. But I also feel that one of the reasons why Gran Turismo 7 is not a game that is not selling as much as it should is because a lot of people don't have the PS5 because the PS5 is really expensive. It only came out about 2 years ago, like in late 2020, I believe. And you look at the PS4. The PS4 has been out since late 2013. Gran Turismo Sport came out back in the second half of 2017, and a lot of people had PS4s worldwide, which is probably why Gran Turismo Sport sold more because more people had access to the PS4, and I feel like that's not necessarily the case with the PS5, mainly because almost everything in America has become more expensive due to inflation, how bad the economy is, and a lot of people aren't necessarily thinking about gaming, they're thinking about survival, and also the PS5 has not been out for as long, so a lot of people don't have access to the PS5, which means they don't have access to Gran Turismo 7. So I do feel that over time, like Gran Turismo 7 is going to eventually end up selling more. Will it end up selling more than Gran Turismo Sport? And this is just my personal opinion. I highly doubt that, but I could be wrong. And it's quite possible that more people will continue to buy Gran Turismo 7 within the next couple of years or so. But this is a game that people have been waiting to see since the early teens when Gran Turismo 6 was released. And I do feel that, Gran Turismo 7, even though, some people consider it to be a decent game without the microtransactions, all that stuff, a lot of people will go on record and tell you that the latest Forza Horizon game that came out back in 2021 is superior. And in fact, I think it was one of the more popular games of 2021. And honestly, I do feel that the Forza series has eventually taking the lead in terms of popularity, in terms of the racing genre of gaming. I'm not saying that Forza is bigger than Gran Turismo at all, because obviously Gran Turismo is a bigger name, but it seems like there's greater preference for the Forza series than it is for the Gran Turismo series, depending on what you're a fan of. There are a lot of people who are becoming more and more fans of I guess, Microsoft and their Xbox consoles, opposed to Sony and their PlayStation game systems, because, PlayStation game systems are becoming more and more expensive. I'm not saying that, the Xbox Series X is not expensive. It's just that I do feel that now Sony has some real competition in relation to the racing genre, and honestly, I never thought I'd see it, but it does seem like the Forza series is starting to become something that people prefer more over the GTA series. And you have other alternatives in relation to, like, racing games like Need for Speed and stuff like that. But I do feel like Forza is really hot right now, and even more so than Gran Turismo. And I do feel that that's something that could possibly change within the next couple of years or so. But as far as Gran Turismo 7 is concerned, even though, like, Sony is not necessarily boasting about its success or what have you, I do feel that it's probably going to be one of the best racing games that we get for the PS5 in quite some time. And it's going to be interesting to see how popular Gran Turismo 7 becomes within the next couple of years or so on the PS5.